Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. The Super Bowl, which is today, really, um, in be quite later on. I suppose be quite late at night in America, be the early hours in the UK. So about 24 hours time. It's kind of is, but later on today. So the Super Bowl, as we can see there, February the 8th, 2026, Levi's Stadium. That has biblical meanings in many ways. The Levites, who guarded the Ark of the Covenant, and they were sort of in charge of guarding the Ark of the Covenant, I believe. The Levites, which some people believe links to levitation. So, yeah, Santa Carla. There's a saint called Santa Carla, California. That's where it is. So Levi Stadium. People have made connections. There's a lot going on here, to be honest. I mean, there's another video as well where he goes into gematria of things, and it's mental, to be honest. It's kind of mental when you're getting into all sort of numerology and gematria and all this kind of crack. And yeah, it's kind of mental. This is like a lower level of maybe the next video I'll play, which gets a lot deeper. So, yeah, I mean, I mentioned that the song Bye Bye Miss American Pie, which some of the lyrics are February made me shiver with every paper I deliver. So, again, February is mentioned, American football is mentioned in the song Bye Bye Miss American Pie. Some believe again it was to do with Buddy Holly, and I think Buddy Holly died in February, possibly. But the Super Bowl final is also in February. As I've mentioned before, that song is not about the death of Buddy Holly. There's too many biblical references in there. Yeah, there's mentions of football and the jester and the devil, etc., etc. So the song literally is about the destruction of America, the fall of America, if you want to put it in a way. So there's links to American football in the song, but we've had this crack about summer as well, and the 250th anniversary. Although it's just the year, so we're kind of just thinking July, and there's a on that picture there's a footballer kicking the world. So again, it might not. There might be something going down in the summer here. Who knows? We'll wait till the summer and see. But there is talk of this Super Bowl, and the connection for me, anyway, is back to the Bye Bye Miss American Pie. The connection's in the song to American football. So, there is connections other than that, if you know what I mean, which you're going to go into now. So, one thing I did notice here from Friday, May the 14th, 1948, which is when the State of Israel was born. It's 77 years, 7 months, 7 weeks, and 7 days exactly till February the 8th, 2026. Currently today, 77 years, 7 months, 7 weeks, and 7 days. Again, this is kind of the numerology crack coming in, and these people love playing with numbers, is a way of putting it. So, there's a bit going down here, and again, the Levites, Levi Stadium, it's all biblical. I mean, again, Israel being put back in the land, all biblical here. I mean, this guy, he's a pre-tribulation kind of man here, which most believers are. That most people believe we're pre-tribulation here. We're waiting on the second coming of Jesus. There will be 1,000-year reign of Christ upon the earth, and then there will be Satan's little season. I'm for all that's happened, as we've been through with all the buildings, etc., etc., all the saints, all the places named after the saints. The Terra del Eso, the land of Jesus, the North Pole, the Rupes Negra, etc., etc. I'm kind of for Satan's little season, to be honest. And again, it kind of says that everybody will be deceived. So the majority of Christians, Catholics, Jews, etc., wouldn't be deceived if we were pre-tribulation here. They would very much not be deceived. The majority of people would be right. So how do you deceive the majority, and again, it makes perfect sense that they believe we're at the wrong point in time and we're in Satan's little season, and very, 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 very few people know that to be the case. I've actually commented on this video, and he mentions the rapture, and I literally commented, the rapture's already happened. We're in Satan's little season. So, you sit where you want, you know what I mean? That's my belief, having looked into this for a long time. Picking between pre or post tribulation. I'm picking post, and it's already happened. All that revelations has pretty much been and gone. And these people are in effect kind of faking the again, we put Israel back in the land here. So kind of like we are faking the tribulation in a way. And again, that would deceive all these people waiting on the rapture, etc. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of my theory with it anyway. But then you've got all these people. Again, I'm not really. I understand numerology a bit, the gematria. I kind of understand it, but it's just not something I delve into. It's very, very deep and quite complicated, to be honest. But you can't really deny some of the stuff some of the people come out with. It's too mental, and they connect too many dots with gematria and the numbers. And it really is mental, to be honest. I'll bring a second video forth in this video with the gematria in it. I won't play it all, it's a long video, but I'll give you the gist of it. You can come and watch the video if you want. Same with this one here on Steve Fletcher 222. So yeah, there's connections, there's all sorts going on here. It's going to get a little bit fucked up, to be honest, and a bit deep. And then ultimately, is anything going to happen at the Super Bowl tomorrow? And there's things to suggest that there is, but again, hopefully it'll go by uneventful, and it'll just be sort of a ritualistic. I mean, they've just opened the Olympics there, and apparently that was all satanic as well. I'll maybe mention that in a minute as well. So yeah, let's have a look at this. I'll mention the Winter Olympics as well. Hold on, I'll maybe get that now. So here we have a video quickly from Candid Truth, the 2026 Olympic Satanic Ritual Exposed. So it's 34 minutes long. The video was 6 minutes in, although it's got a countdown for 5 minutes of that. Yeah, it's again the Satanic Ritual Exposed. It's quite a long video, and there's quite a lot goes down here by the looks of it. He's got a lot to go through, it would seem. So he'll kind of explain what I'm not going to play the video because it's that long, to be honest. I'm just mentioning the Satanic Ritual Exposed. Again, they've done this with the London Olympics, and they had that big 50-foot death wandering around, and it was like a precursor to the COVID fucking pandemic in a way. So yeah, again, I'm just trying to find the bit that was the most satanic. Oh, here we go. I think this is it. Hold on, we'll play this bit. So yeah, to all manner of ritualistic madness as usual with all of these events. That it always is that people have no idea what's going on. They just think it's some sort of light show for the sod of it, but usually it isn't. That's what I mentioned, like performing rituals on stage, and people don't know, even in like music and Lady Gaga and people like that, and fucking Taylor Swift, all them lot fucking doing satanic shit as well. So yeah, we'll just play a little bit of this. Hold on.
They stick the torch in the cauldron. That's what they called it. I don't know why it's called a cauldron, but there's the fire happening. And what happens? It turns red. It grows and expands. And then what does it look like? I don't have to tell you what that is a symbol of. I hope not. It should be pretty obvious. That is clearly an inverted pentagram.
Yeah, that was a pentagram in the yellow. If you didn't see it there, I'll go back. Yeah, there's a pentagram in the yellow. So again, these people do this all the time. To be honest, I mean, here's another bit. Hold on. Yeah, they do this all the time. I mean, in the archway as well, which is like old world architecture in many ways. So hold on.
With fireworks blowing off, and they're painting the whole archway red. It went from blue to red. And here's an up close picture where you can see the clear inverted pentagram, just like on the image right here on the right. This isn't a reach. This isn't a stretch. This isn't making something out of nothing. This is exactly what is happening. And they're not even hiding it anymore because Satan doesn't have to hide. He's been desensitizing us.
Yeah. Well, again, I claim this is Satan's little season. Like he runs the world at this point. You know what I mean? He's about done here. I think. Well, not imminent, but semi-imminent here. He's kind of done. So yeah, satanic rituals. Again, if you want to look into that, there's plenty of people like this guy cover it. Again, most of the Olympics and things are this kind of crack. To be honest, if you want to sort of get involved. But I just thought I'd give it a mention anyway. But that's not what's going on here. We're going on about the Super Bowl, obviously, as we mentioned, and all the connections to things. So this guy, I'll get into some of the minor ones. Then I'll get over to this Gematria channel where it kind of goes a bit deep and insane in many ways. So hold on.
The first sign I shared with you was the connection to Israel being 77 years, 7 months, 7 weeks, and 7 days from the rebirth of Israel. And that being connected to the fact that Super Bowl 60 is being played at Levi Stadium. And Levi is the tribe that oversees all the sacrifices and all of the feasts and all of the calendar of God, which works by sevens. So we have 77,777 connected to Levi Stadium. Then we had all of these connections to the San Francisco 49ers, which is it's their stadium. 7 times 7 is 49. The address of the stadium is 4900, another 7 times 7. Santa Clara, California was founded in 1777, and that was 249 years ago, so another 7 times 7. All of this.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like numerology. They love this shit here. It's kind of like what 9/11 was as well. And the London bombings was like the 7th of the 7th, 2005, which adds up to a 7, 2005. So 777. So they kind of love this numerology shit. They really do. If you look into it, again, people will be like, ah, it's a load of bollocks. Well, it's a load of bollocks if you don't look into it, you know what I mean? But when people start showing you all this stuff and it constantly always connects to the same numbers, it's kind of hard to deny in many ways. When you go through all these events and it's the same, we'll get onto the Gematria guy when, again, that's kind of totally insane, like how much that matches up and the connections that he makes. So yeah, this is kind of the crack, yeah, that they do this with numbers and it's all a bit mental, to be honest. But this is how, again, I mentioned before, like how do you talk to each other so that the average person doesn't understand what you're talking about? And the answer is you do it in code or you do it in numbers, and these people are kind of signaling to each other what's going on when the general public have no real concept of it. Do you know what I mean? So again, is it a coincidence that all these sort of numbers adding up to the same thing? And again, you've got 77 years, 7 months, 7 weeks, and 7 days since the birth of Israel to this event. I mean, that's a massive coincidence, isn't it? You know what I mean? So there's absolutely loads. It's one of them that like once to kind of get through it all, you just like you kind of like I can't really deny it. I don't understand it fully, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? It's not my bag. I don't do this kind of thing, so it's kind of I understand how it's kind of hard to wrap your head around what's going on here. I mean, this is numerology, and we'll get on to gematria, which is probably more complicated, to be honest.
This also connected to iPet Goat and the Super Bowl trophy being in the form of a saint.
Yeah, iPet Goat 2, probably, he means. Cartoon, quite old, quite a spooky cartoon, to be honest. Might give that play, actually. Hold on, we'll put that on a moment. So this is iPet Go 2, bit of a spooky, weird cartoon. Been around for quite a while, to be honest, quite a while. How long? 13 years ago. So, 13 years, I'm looking for some, possibly us. So this has been around 13 years. It's a weird, spooky cartoon that's got all sorts of symbolism in it that people have picked through the years. It's all a bit mental, to be honest. It's all a bit mental. So we'll play it anyway and see what's going on. So I'm just going to pause it and talk while we sort of explain to some people what's going on. So first of all, you may have noticed we have a Masonic checkerboard floor here. First out the hat, Masonic floor. He's supposed to be in the classroom. He was in a classroom when he was told about 9/11, if anyone remembers. When the news of 9/11 dropped that a plane had hit the building, President Bush, who this man is here, with the dunce hat on, because he was a bit of an idiot, again, kind of saying he wasn't really running the show, so to speak. It's people in the background. Again, he was being done like a puppet, is a way of putting it. We see, hold on, see the hands again. So we see the hands and the puppet master here controlling him. He's got a big S on his finger. It's kind of devil hands in a way, big claws and fingers, and sort of reptilian, I suppose, in a way. Reptilian fingers, sort of scaly. If you want to see what the kind of crack is there, I mean that links him to the Watchers. To be honest, a depiction of the Watchers. Again, this is possibly where the whole reptilian theory has come about from. Again, maybe not David Icke's version specifically. But there's tales of sort of the Watchers having a weird sort of skin when they took human form. So anyhow, there's puppet hands controlling Bush, who is on a Masonic floor in the classroom where he heard about 9/11.
Fool me once, fool me once, fool me once. Shame on, shame on.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But Bush very famously fucked that up. It's one of his many blunders. Again, the dunce hat, where he fucked up the saying. Yeah, but the real saying is fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Again, fool me, like, again, you're being fooled, you're being played. These people are playing us. They're puppets on the stage, as that you've seen here. There's people controlling them from the background. So we're only 46 seconds in. I mean, a lot of people want to see an IPEC go to before, to be honest. It's not a well known thing. How many views has it got? Only got 87,000 views here. So we'll continue on. Hold on.
Shame on you, shame on you, shame on you.
So sorry to interrupt again. Everything kind of matters here as well. Like the symbolism's everywhere. You've got the owl in the top left here. Again, Bohemian Grove, worshipping the owl, or can't remember that, Molech, the owl god. You've got a shark here. Again, it's the shark, usually a predator. You've got a game of hangman here that's one leg off completion, with possibly the word evolution being spelt out here. I'm not sure, just the only word I can think of that kind of spells Evo. Could be wrong, but it's probably evolution. You've got a penis here, obviously. You can't not have a penis on a chalkboard. It's spunking on the shark. Whether that's significant, I do not know. So, you've got a picture of the world here, a picture of America in the background. You've got a pin in sort of the New York area, I think. Again, 9/11. I believe that's where New York is. 9/11 kind of being referenced with the classroom here. So yeah, that's kind of so far. I mean, there's a lot more in this. There's a snow thing here, so whether the snow is significant, we just had a big snowstorm in America. But a snowflake here to the left again, or it could mean people are all snowflakes now. But I don't know. It's just that the symbolism's everywhere in this little cartoon. You've got to kind of look for what you look. A lot of people have picked out a lot of different things. To be honest, again, I'm just running through this. It's a long time since I've seen this. I'm just kind of running through what I remember here and trying to explain to you what is actually happening. And again, the whole the whole classroom scenario of 9/11 and George Bush is currently what's going on. But he was being controlled by a puppet, as you've seen there. So we'll play a bit more. Hold on.
For me, take that for the year, 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 take that for the year,
So he turned into a Obama, as you've seen. Turned into a Obama, but with fangs like a vampire. Little fangs there. And again, kind of happens quick. Laughing again. I'm not till there's a house on fire here on the left near the shark. I didn't see that before. It looks like it is spelling evolution. And again, like Hangman, the death evolution could be again. Evolution is a lie, and believing in evolution will cause you eternal death, possibly. That again, I don't know. This is I'm kind of in all this kind of symbolism, geometry, and numerology. I'm nowhere near like these people making these other videos. To be honest, sorry, Steve Fletcher here, but we'll get to the gematria one as well. So he turned into Obama and he's laughing. He's got fangs. Got white gloves on as well, like a magician. I won't go back again, but white gloves on like a magician. So we've moved over to this little girl now with an apple. So again, the apple could be temptation, Adam and Eve, kind of crack. If you notice in the background, you've got a man sat there pulling the Masonic hand signal that you see all the celebrities pulling from this. Charlie Kirk's doing it, Candace Owens, Donald Trump, Elon Musk. The amount of people you can find doing this Masonic hand signal in the background here, sat with your arms between your two knees, pulling the triangle with the hand again. Very, very many people can be, if you go and look and even Google search it, you can find a lot of people, all the people I mentioned, pulling that Masonic hand signal, again, still on the Masonic checkerboard floor here. So, girl with an apple. Looks like she's in a circle of salt or something, could be protected. Again, there's a lot in this, and again, there's a white rabbit in the background. Again, follow the white rabbit, the Matrix. If you've ever seen the start of the Matrix, follow the white rabbit. Also, Alice in Wonderland, I believe. This could be Alice, possibly. I don't know. There's all sorts going on here. You know what I mean? Again, I don't really fully understand everything that you're witnessing in this cartoon, and a lot of people have said it is a certain thing, and I've seen that. And again, I can't sort of possibly grasp how they've got to that conclusion with some of them. Again, it's a lot in here to try and work out for yourself. It's very, very fucking cryptic cartoon in many ways. Here's a deer in the background. Not quite sure of the reference of the deer, but the white rabbit, again, the Matrix, follow the white rabbit. So all these people are covered in barbed wire as well. Again, I'm not sure what any significance of the other people's positioning is, but that's definitely pulling sort of the Masonic triangle hand signal guy, as I mentioned. Again, all the celebrities pull this signal, and various people, politicians, etc. Kind of a Freemasonry hand signal, again, the Masonic floor. So we've got the girl possibly surrounded by some sort of protective circle, I don't know. So flower, I don't know if that's a lotus flower or what. I'm not sure. Again, there's many people could sort of decode this far, far better than I could. So a flower grows out of the apple. I believe this is Obama again, and he's sweating here because of what's happened. I believe that says Psalm 23, possibly Psalm 23. So a biblical reference again. Obviously a passage within the Bible. We have the American flag blowing away, as you witnessed. The American flag is torn. We have a tower. Everything's covered in ice. Again, America's just been absolutely covered in ice. I don't know if that's, again, massively connected to this or what, but again, America has just been completely covered in ice. The American flag, as we've seen, is torn and blown away. Here's the Twin Towers on fire, possibly. Again, 9/11. We've seen George Bush at the start there in the classroom. So here's the two Twin Towers on fire, I believe. That's what it's supposed to represent. I would say definitely by the way it's fell, exactly like the towers fell. Again, completely obviously a controlled demolition. If the towers had collapsed due to structural failure and the heating, it wouldn't have went down to the base. And again, there's pictures. In fact, hold on, I'm even going to show you the pictures for the sake of the video. Hold on. So here on the right here, picture here, the beams being cut on an angle. Again, they kind of wiped the internet of all these pictures. There used to be fucking loads of them of the beams all cut on that angle, like loads of them. I believe it's in some of the documentaries, but as for the pictures of it, they appear to have wiped them from the internet. The majority. There used to be like quite a lot of pictures of multiple of these beams standing in the air, all cut together. I'm trying to see. Obviously, I'm looking down here, as you can see. I'm trying to see if I can get another picture, but yeah, the kind of scrubbed it. There's one anyway that of the beam being cut on an angle, which is very much consistent with controlled demolition. So there used to be more. It's like they've took them all down, trying to cover up what's happened here or something. I don't know. Just again, I've seen many photos of that before, and again, this is the only one I can find that you're looking at on the right there. And I'm scrolling down, and I'm not seeing any more. But there's one anyway. A lot of the beams were cut on an angle. I mean, you can kind of see them sort of melting here as well, possibly from the thermite used to cut all the beams. Again, that's why it fell to its base, not halfway down, kind of thing. Again, if it had melted and fell over, why did it fall to the ground? And the answer was because all the beams were cut. But they've kind of covered it up in a way that I can't. Again, that's the one picture remaining that I can find of these beams being cut. Again, if you go and watch the documentary Loose Change, I think they've got quite a lot of photos before they've managed to delete them. So I believe, let's have a look at this. Debunked, the World Trade Center 9/11 and cut column. Not thermite, cut later, page 2, mega debunk. So, yeah, this is a debunking. So again, I don't 100%. I wasn't there, you know what I mean. But I had seen photos before. There is one that I showed you. Lost it again now. Is it right near the top? There's one of them being cut. But there used to be again a lot of photos of that, and it seems to have been deleted from the internet. But again, if you go and watch Loose Change, which is about 9/11 being an inside job, I believe there's quite a lot of pictures on that documentary of it. So again, I could be wrong, but that was my belief of the beams were cut. Again, there is one picture of it, but Again, there was a lot of them. Again, there's pictures of multiple beams cut in the same pictures, but they seem to have been deleted here because people do not like the truth sometimes. But it even looks like there's melting around there, possibly. But definitely sort of cut on an angle, as you can see. So I may be wrong, maybe wrong. Maybe 9/11 wasn't an inside job. I don't know. You know what I mean? But anyhow, that's the crack with that. Let's go back to this other thing. So the World Trade Center's falling anyway. Is what you're watching here. Some little creature sort of dancing there and diving into the water. Like a jester or something, I don't know. So here we have Osama bin Laden under the crescent red moon. Again, could be Islam. Osama bin Laden obviously blamed for 9/11. He's got a CIA badge on though of the American government, I believe that is possibly. Again, he was a CIA asset. That is actually the truth if you look into it. His whole family kind of worked for the American government and built military bases around the world for the American government was the crack. Again, if you look into it. So, yeah, he was a CIA asset. I mean, there's a video exists. I mean, there's maybe a couple. People have actually been to Pakistan, to the neighborhood he was apparently in when he was captured. And everybody that lives there, says it's a load of bollocks and Osama bin Laden was not there. So that's from the people on the ground, you know what I mean? The people in the community, in the neighborhood, in Pakistan, where apparently Osama bin Laden was living in this compound. Everybody on the ground says it was bollocks. So, I don't know, but again, you kind of maybe have to trust the people that were there. So, maybe not, but again, I kind of thought it was bollocks at the time. Because I remember them vividly saying they dumped him in the sea in accordance with his religion in about 12 hours, and by helicopter it would have took about 15 hours to get to the sea from where he was in Pakistan. So people kind of debunked the whole he threw him in the sea by A, that's got nothing to do with Islam, and B, you couldn't have got to the sea in the time you claimed you threw him in the sea. So again, they made a film. It's like how when they make a film about somebody, it probably didn't happen, and they're making the film just to make you fucking believe it. So there's that film where they captured him, isn't it? But it was probably a load of bollocks. So anyhow, Osama bin Laden was a CIA asset. That can be proved if you want to look into it. It's kind of why a lot of people don't believe he done 9/11, and then they didn't capture him either. And again, there is another video exists as well of when he was the most wanted man in the world. A journalist, possibly British, went to Afghanistan, to Kabul possibly, to look for Osama bin Laden. He got off the plane, he didn't know anybody. I think within like 2 hours he was sat talking to Osama bin Laden in Kabul after just getting off the plane and going to look for him, whilst he was the most wanted man in the world after 9/11. Kind of proving that the American government were never really looking for him. So that video exists as well somewhere if you want to watch that. So we'll move on anyhow. Here's Osama bin Laden. Something bad's going to happen, obviously. So, sorry for keep pausing here, just kind of got a black goo here. I don't know if anybody is aware of the sort of the black goo. It's mentioning quite a lot of things, but I mean, there is an oil pump in the background there, an oil garrick. So it could be just oil. Oil, again, wars are fought over oil. Possibly we went to Iraq and Afghanistan. Possibly over oil. It could be kind of saying that. Again, 9/11. And 9/11 is quite a big focus here. Again, Obama was mentioned, but it was kind of Obama who captured Osama bin Laden. So it's focusing a lot around 9/11, obviously, and again, it's maybe claiming here we went to war for oil. So, I mean, I don't know. This is kind of maybe predicting the future, so to speak. I don't know. Again, it's quite a complicated kind of. That could be a nuclear explosion in the background there, possibly. I'll just go back. That was kind of Jesus, but maybe like a false Jesus, like an antichrist, possibly. I don't truly understand the all of this. Again, the 9/11 stuff's kind of obvious, really. Now we're getting into some cryptic, weird shit again. They've got a woman in black here, kind of crying with a child that looks like they're dying. Looks like a big explosion in the background. Could be something to do with nuclear war, possibly World War III. Not sure. I mean, you've got the Denver airport crack as well. I think I've mentioned that before. And you've got the murals in the Denver airport. They're a bit weird as well. So that could be a nuclear explosion. We've got children dying in bandages here. A woman crying in black. Could be mourning due to the death. Got a sort of a circle around the head here, kind of how the saints are depicted in many things, but with more yellow. But obviously she's mourning. I don't know. I don't know. Again, you're watching it like I am in many ways. A child with a gun. Someone's pulling something here. He's got a cross skull and crossbones on his arm. So I think that was like the Indian god. Can't remember the name of it. The blue one, loads of hands, I think, or arms. Yeah. So again, this could be Jesus on like an Egyptian sort of boat to the passing through the underworld, possibly. Again, Anubis, the god of the dead, possibly. Looking from underwater here again. It all gets mental. To be honest, I don't truly understand the ending here, or I can't even remember what happens. I think it sort of sails off into the sunset. So how long we've got left? 2 minutes. Might as well play it and see what goes on. I don't know. So that's kind of IPEC Gorge kind of finishing. Again, it's kind of Jesus. He's lost a crown of thorns. Again, I don't know if it's the real Jesus or it's supposed to be like a fake Jesus, the Antichrist. I'm not quite sure. But the church is crumbling in the background here. So the church crumbles. Again, at the kind of the song, the end of the song, "Bye Bye Miss American Pie." It says, "The three men I admire most, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, they caught the last train for the coast the day the music died." So, yeah, because the kind of that alludes to them leaving the earth. But again, I kind of think that just means, again, like Satan's little season, which we've been in for a long time. We're just kind of at the end of it now. So, again, it kind of is back to this whole crack, are we pre or post tribulation in a way? So that's how I picked Goat 2 anyway. Again, bit weird, symbols, weird cartoon, not for kids, obviously. So, yeah, there's that. Again, I don't know if there is I thought there was something to do with American football in this at some point, but I've maybe missed it at some point there. I thought there was sort of something to do with American football and a woman. Maybe not. I may be wrong. Sure there was, but I can't remember seeing it to now, to be honest. Well, anyhow, that's iPad Code 2. Let's go back to the original video.
Start repairs. Watch my back.
Always do.
You know, I read about this game. It was played right here. The last Super Bowl.
Please don't tell me it was a classic.
Classic game.
That's a lovely, lovely voice.
That our flag was still there. Oh, see does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Let the games begin.
Oh, there's some clips from two of the films there. We've also got Black Sunday, could be tomorrow mentioned here. There's all sorts, really.
Morning was a movie that came out, I think, in 1977. Oblivion was a movie with Tom Cruise that showed the apocalypse happened during the final Super Bowl. The Dark Knight Rises, obviously one of the most important movies connected to the rise of the Antichrist, connected to the Super Bowl, showed the number 322 in the box as the stadium was
322, Skull and Bones, mentioned that before. Again, Harvard University, possibly, or Yale. I think it's Harvard. Yeah, fraternity. Again, a bit of a dark one. Presidents have all been in. The number is Skull and Bones, a picture of a Skull and Bones with 322 underneath it. Mentioned it before. So, again, stay off the Golden Gate Bridge, August the 11th. Again, an actor saying that. Back to the Future. Again, she was called Santa Clara, and she'd go on to blah, blah, blah. San Francisco, it was the end of the line. This is being played in San Francisco. So some connections here. The sum of all fears he mentioned as well. The Israel thing, 7 months, 7 weeks, 7 yada yada yada. Has he got any more stuff going on here? And a picture of a Grim Reaper on the Golden Gate Bridge there. There's been a big earthquake while the World Series was on once before, and there's been quite a lot of earthquakes happening in the San Francisco area. So could it be a major earthquake? Could that be a possibility? Again, we don't definitely know, but it kind of like alluding to something's going to happen. Again, with all the symbolism, numerology, and gematria. So this video is getting a bit long. So this is Steve Fletcher 222, the channel. If you want to come and watch the video, follow the White Rabbit. Final warning to February the 8th, 2026 Super Bowl 60. So that's that crack. We'll move over to another guy with a very more detailed video, to be honest. And just have a look at some of the stuff that he saw connected, which is mentally connected into this woman going missing and all sorts. So let's hear quickly on Decoding with Cody is the name of the channel. Again, gets quite deep in sort of gematria and everything. This, again, I haven't got time to explain it. This video is long enough. So I'll just play a bit. I won't really say much. Links it into all sorts with gematria, numbers, words and numbers. Again, Google what gematria is if you don't know. We haven't really got time to explain here. The video is long enough. So I'll just play a bit and see what, again, it makes a lot of, the video is an hour and a half long here. There's a lot goes on. I've only seen to about 50 minutes, to be honest, but you need to come and really watch the video for yourself. I'll play a little bit, but again, can't get anywhere near the majority of it, to be honest. So come and watch it for yourself.
Great work. And he hasn't done a lot of videos recently, but definitely a great decoder. So yeah, let's get into it, guys. I don't want to just dilly-dally too much here for the people who are going to watch this on a replay. So let's get into it. All right, so we got 83 in the chat. That's a good starting point. Hopefully we get some more people in here. All right, so we're going to cover, again, what I just went over with the Guthrie. Let's just go over the story real fast, you know, what's going on with it. So on February 1st, so again, guys, it's already been 6 days since this originally happened. Nancy Guthrie, 84-year-old mother of NBC News journalist and Today co-anchor Savannah Guthrie, was reported missing from her home in Catalina Foothills, Arizona. Evidence found at the residence indicated foul play, prompting a criminal investigation. So her daughter, Savannah Guthrie, is a news anchor for the Today Show. And so Savannah Guthrie was supposed to be at the 2026 Winter Olympics, which I haven't even done a video on yet. But there's definitely probably something going on with the Olympics tied to this, because, again, her daughter was supposed to be at the Olympics as a news anchor.
Yeah, I mean, when the London Olympics happened in 2012, people might not believe this, but I mean, you can go and kind of look into it if you want. There was quite a few people went missing, and it was in high profile in the news. A little girl, I believe that she was found dead in the loft, like days and weeks after they'd already searched the house. I can't remember the name of the girl now. Bear with us. I'll see if I can find it. So, I remember this at the time, and again, these people, again, and it's kind of, at the time, if you kind of tried to tell people this, you'd have been mental, but now kind of the Epstein files have come out, and there's sort of torture, murder, sacrifice, paedophilia, child trafficking, all sorts in the Epstein files. This is going to sound probably a lot less crazy than it would have 2 weeks ago. So, in 2012, the Summer Olympics were in London between July the 27th and August 12th, 2012. And yeah, that's what happened, the Olympics in London. But while this was going on, a girl called Tia Sharp, and again, with numerology, or there was something to do with her name as well. I literally predicted the day this girl would be found because it was all to do with it was some sort of ritual, possibly a ritual sacrifice. And I believe the crack was she was found in the loft after the police had already searched the loft after. There we go. On the 10th of August, her body was discovered. I think she was missing for 7 days, and the number was the number that kept happening. And this wasn't the only person that went missing. There was a couple of people, and I think they were possibly all children, that went missing in the run up to the Olympics and around the Olympic time. Again, I thought at the time this was some sort of child sacrifice connected to the ritual of the Olympics. And again, people were kind of, this guy here was who was blamed for it in the end. But on the 10th of August, the body was discovered in a black bedsheet in a black bag in the loft of the home of Sharp's grandmother after police visited for the fourth time. Fourth time. And I kind of claimed at the time, everybody thought I was mental, to be honest. The body wasn't there. They took this girl. They done whatever they do to these people. They killed her, they sacrificed her, and then they brought her back and dumped the body. And that's why on 3 other occasions, and they had police sniffer dogs with them on these occasions, they did not find the body of this girl in the loft. And they had sniffer dogs, which is mental, absolutely mental, when you've got a rotting corpse in a loft. And sniffer dogs that are trained to do that cannot smell the body when they're in the house and in the loft. This is dogs. So it was suspicious as fuck, to be honest, and I literally predicted the day she would turn up based on sort of numerology at the time. And I honestly thought at the time this was happening because there wasn't just this lass, there was another couple of people that happened. It all happened around the Olympics when it was in London. People were going missing and turning up. She was 12, which is 3 as well. It was like 3 and 7 was kind of the code, the numerology being worked to. I know it sounds absolutely mental, but again, this is kind of what goes on. I literally witnessed this at the time, predicted the day she'd turn up, and I was nowhere near it. You know what I mean? It was in London again, where the Olympics was being held in London. That's key as well. These people that I'm all mentioning, I'm sure, were in the London area. Yeah, and I believe, again, the people were literally stealing children and people and sacrificing them to the ritual of the Olympics. I mean, this could, again, this woman's just gone missing, and the Winter Olympics are on here. This girl's mother, who was supposed to be, Lasso was supposed to be on the Winter Olympics, but she isn't because her mother's gone missing. But again, we've got the Olympics mentioned here. Again, the Olympics was on in London. People were going missing around the time of the Olympics in London. She turned up. Again, she died on the 3rd of August. She didn't turn up to the 10th, but she was she went missing. She was missing for a week, I believe. So again, and was charged with the murder on the 12th. So we got a number 3 there again. It was like 3 and 12 were coming up all the time here, and it was, again, that's how I kind of predicted today she would be discovered, because they were kind of working to 3 and 7 in all of these rituals. Again, 7's been mentioned before there, 7 weeks, 7 days, 7 months since the thing of Israel. So I truly believe this young lassie here, Tia Sharp, was kidnapped, sacrificed to a ritual during the Olympics. And then this man here was blamed for her murder. Maybe he was involved and helped kidnap her. I do not know. Possibly he was offered a lot of money, and maybe he was involved in some way. But I think it went a lot higher and a lot darker than that. And again, it happened while the Olympics were going on. And this wasn't the only person. There was at least 3 people, I believe, that everything was massively suspicious about it. Again, what was really suspicious about this at the time was they'd searched the house 3 times. On the 4th time, they eventually found the body in the grandmother's house, having searched it 3 times and with sniffer dogs. So that was why it was real suspicious, to be honest. And again, my claim is that she was taken, sacrificed to a ritual during the Olympics. Again, the Olympics is a ritual of these people. If you look into it, again, the sort of what we've seen there before, like the satanic ritual, as it was mentioned. Again, it's very hard for people to probably understand what really goes on in this world, to be honest. So yeah, I remember that, and there was more people. There was more people that it happened to. It wasn't just that little girl. Again, everything that's come out with the Epstein files, it shouldn't seem as far fetched as it is when I tried to sort of tell people in 2012 when it was happening. So yeah, again, it's a very very dark place we live in here. Very dark place indeed. I'll just play a little bit more of this quickly, and then I'll have to call it.
And again, her daughter is on the Today Show, and you guys know that what the Today Show is. We're not going to talk a whole lot about the Today Show, but you guys can see that there is the kind of, it's like a rising sun logo in a way. So there's symbolism there for sure. But we're mainly just going to focus on the mother theme that I brought up in my last decode. And notice that it mentions Donald Trump. It mentions Donald Trump here in this Wikipedia article, who has expressed support for the family. Okay, so this is all going to be connected to Donald Trump, as everything always is connected to Donald Trump. And again, we're going to talk about Donald Trump's family and his mother, and how this connects to Donald Trump and his mother, as I talked about in my last decode. Okay.
So he's going to go deep here, and Donald Trump, the Super Bowl, all sorts. To be honest, he's going to be connected. Home Alone as well. Home Alone's in there. Donald Trump's mother. This is this woman here called Mary. So it's going to go real deep. As again, there's no point. It's a long affair, really. But there's a lot in here, and again, it's kind of undeniable when you really understand what he's showing you with the numbers. It just keeps coming up at the same time. The numbers connect everywhere, left, right, and centre. That's kind of gematria, but if you don't understand it, I will go and watch a video on how it works, maybe, before you sort of get involved. But very, very interesting, very detailed, in-depth, educational, mental video at the same time. So ultimately, we're waiting to see if something happens at the Super Bowl tomorrow, I suppose. That's kind of what we're waiting on. So should something bad happen, and that's kind of what's been predicted here. I mean, the other possibility is an earthquake, a big earthquake. Could we attack Iran? Possibly. Is that another thing? Could Iran attack America, or China, or Russia, or possibly? We don't really know until tomorrow. But if something really bad does happen at the Super Bowl, and all this kind of makes a bit more sense. But at the same time, again, we've seen The Economist there and the front cover, and he kind of alluded to the football and the 250th anniversary of America, which is in July, not in February. But we've got the song again, Bye Bye Miss American Pie. February made me shiver with every paper I deliver. So I don't know. There's connections out there, so we'll wait and see. There's tomorrow to come, and then we'll work our way till July and see what happens there. But it's bad times, look like they're coming in general, to be honest. The whole world's fallen to shit around us, so I wouldn't expect anything decent to happen anyway. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll leave it there on this one, but I would recommend coming and watching this video of Decoding with Cody, because it's, well, it's real deep, to be honest, but it's you kind of, again, I can't really deny what he's showing me with the numbers. They keep recurring, and it all kind of connects, and yeah, but it's very very complicated stuff though, gematria and all this numerology, and again, it's not our crack. We just talk plain and simple here. We don't talk in numbers and all this kind of crack, so it can be difficult to understand, I suppose, as well. But all you can ever do is give it a crack, I suppose. I'll leave it there anyway. Peace.